Welcome to the March 24th, 2025 meeting of the Sandusky City Commission. We'll have an invocation offered by Commissioner Pajali, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Praise God. Lord, thank you for another day of life and the opportunity to work with my fellow commissioners to enrich the lives of the people of Sandusky. We call on you to grant us your wisdom and the ability to hold true to our courage of conviction as we move forward this evening. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Myers, will you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Murray? Mr. Pajali?
Here.
Mr. Kuntz? Mr. Crable?
Here.
Ms. Fargo? Here. Mr. Waddington?
Here.
Mr. Brady?
Here. May I have a motion to excuse both Commissioners Murray and Commissioners Kuntz?
So moved. Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion. Without objection, the motion will be approved, and hearing no objection, those two commissioners are excused. Commissioners, you have before you the minutes of our meeting of March the 10th, 2025. What's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Waddington.
I move that we accept the minutes of the March 10th meeting as presented.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion. Without objection, that motion will be approved, and hearing no objection, those minutes are approved. Any residents with comments regarding tonight's agenda, please step to the podium and share with us your name and address and your agenda item comments. Commissioners, you have before you several communications from staff recommending various pieces of legislation. Can I have a motion to accept those communications?
So moved.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion. Without objection, that motion will be approved, and hearing no objection, that motion is approved. Commissioners, we have several items on the consent agenda this evening. Do any of you wish to move any of these items to our regular agenda? Ms. Myers, will you present the consent agenda?
Item A, Budget Appropriation Amendment Number 1. Item B, Approval of ODNR Submerged Land Lease for Chesapeake Loss. Item C, Approval of ODOT Systematic Sign Replacement Fiscal Year 2026 on State Route 6. Item D, Approval of MPO Service Transportation Block Grant Application for State Fiscal Year 2028 through 2030. Item E, Approval of OCJS 2025 State Violent Crime Reduction Grant Application.
Commissioners, having heard these ordinances and resolutions, what is your pleasure?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Vargo.
I make a motion to accept the consent agenda items A through E and declaring that all ordinances and resolutions as drafted and presented to the City Commission shall take effect in accordance with the sections reflected in accordance with Section 13 or 14 of the City Charter.
Second.
There have been a motion and a second discussion.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Pajali.
I just had a question on item D for, I believe, Mr. Klein. I don't see Mr. Snyder here. When we put in this application, we only requested 50% match for this particular, for these projects. I didn't know if, do you get more points if you go in at 50%?
Yes, there are more points available going in at 50.
Okay, because there was a time it wouldn't matter if you came in at 80 or 50. Well, thank you for that clarification.
Additional comments or questions on the consent agenda? Ms. Myers, you call the roll on that motion, please.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes. And now on the ordinances and resolutions.
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes. Those ordinances and resolutions are approved. Ms. Myers, you present item number 1 of the regular agenda.
It is requested an ordinance be passed authorizing and directing the city manager to enter into a master service agreement with Archer Energy LLC for the city's residential and small commercial natural gas aggregation program, and declaring that this ordinance shall take immediate effect in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Commissioners, having heard this ordinance, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Pajali.
I would move to adopt this ordinance in effect in accordance with Section 14 of the City Charter.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second discussion. I see we have Mr. Bellish in the audience. I wonder if he'd step to the podium and provide us with an explanation. It seems like I've seen this movie before. I hope this one has a better ending than the last one.
Yes, good evening. Tom Bellish from Buck Energy Brokers. So in November, we put on the ballot, passed the ballot. We did an RFP and got three bidders, and the low bidder was Eastern Power and Gas. So the entire time since we put it on the ballot, the prices have gone up. So every time a proposal would be made, market would go up, and then so trying to do the fixed price, it's just the market kept going up and up, and we had an issue with the Columbia Gas list. We couldn't get the list accurate. I know the area very well, and I knew it was not an accurate list, and that delayed things, and every day it delayed, market went up. So they just couldn't honor that. So we're moving on to a better way of doing it. Not only does Archer Energy have more experience in Columbia Gas, they also could have gotten us around that list issue by getting another list and using those two together to scrub the data. So they have a solution for that. And they also have a solution for the market going up as we're trying to implement this. So you have the market going this way, and the number of customers coming up and down, we don't know what those are. So we're going to match those up here in August. So we'll have start off with the guaranteed savings, variable price, with the goal of doing a fixed price. So worst case, the supplier will provide the gas at a guaranteed savings, and then with the market being attractive, we can lock in a fixed price. So I think we've corrected all of the issues that we've had with Eastern and improved the program in the meantime.
Mr. Bellish, a couple things I think worth mentioning is that our successful provider did not just let the city of Sandusky down, they left the entire state, did they not? So they left the entire state down and moved away from the entire state.
Yeah, they're in the process of doing that. Yeah. So there was 6 other aggregation and a total of 11 different communities. Yeah, you might have noticed there's other communities who didn't get any offers in past summer or fall. There's communities in Northwest Ohio who didn't get anything. So I was glad to see we got 3 bids. That was really good at the time. So so 2 problems with them. One was the list, and they couldn't honor a fixed price. That when the price was way lower, they had another issue in operating in Ohio and really kind of transitioning away.
And our timetable now moves from, we had originally thought this would start in April. Now it will start, I think, close to the end of summer. Is that correct? So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that the loss of them through the summer months is not quite as dramatic as losing them through the winter months.
No,
I'm trying to find a pony in here somewhere.
Yeah, that's correct. So, spring, summer usage was way low.
Yeah.
Not a critical. Whether we had started in April or August, the usage is way low. So not a big deal there. October to March is the months we want to concentrate on and get those correct.
And I don't mean to be hogging the forum. If there's other questions, I'll certainly entertain those. But on my mind at the moment is you are in a position to guarantee that the rate we're going to get is going to be the best rate that's out there. We're not, the 7 of us, when there's 7 here, are not going to have residents calling us and say, I can get a better rate somewhere else. Why would I do this?
Yeah, this is, as far as I know, this is not offered. This is offered especially for Sandusky. This is not offered to the general public, this type of guaranteed savings program.
Okay, Commissioner Vargo.
Thank you. And then the process, is it the same for the residents as the last situation? If you could just share that again, how that'll work for a
Yes.
resident.
So in June, we'll be getting that mailing list ready to go and docket the letter with the PUCO, and they'll approve it. And then when that gets mailed, so this is a copy here of what that letter will look like. So this is going out. So this is dated July 5th. So that's the expected mail date. And then when residents get this, they have 21 days to opt out, and otherwise they'll be enrolled for August. And there's always there's never a fee to cancel. So there's always an opportunity to opt out. It's not one time to opt out. It's continuous. So they'll have that. And then it'll be August flow. September will be the first billing cycle, and plenty of time for October. October flow, November bill is really the first month of winter, so and plenty of time for winter.
Okay, so if you get the letter and do nothing, you're in it. You're in that program.
Right,
Okay.
right. So those who will not be getting it were those under contract at the time we do the list and the mailing, and PIP customers as well. They will not be included.
Okay. Additional comments or questions, Commissioners? Commissioner Crable.
Well, I received a phone call back when the first vendor was the one we were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And this constituent had gone out to the state of Ohio's website and was comparing the rates that this vendor was offering, and they said, there's other vendors on the state list that are offering cheaper rates. And I said, are they offering them in this area? Because I think that's an issue as well, that not all the vendors offer service in all areas of the state of Ohio. So I'm just glad that we've got someone that, we can rely on at this point. So.
Yeah, we're looking forward to working with Archer Energy, and I know they have a lot of working with a lot of other communities in the area too. So I have high hopes for them, and I recommend them.
Additional questions or comments, Commissioner? Mr. Orzak, sounds like you got something to say.
If I could just make a comment, any of the residents have questions, they can contact my office, and Leslie has been pretty up to date on all of this information. So if residents have questions or concerns, they can contact the manager's office.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Pellish.
Great, thank you for your time.
Ms. Barnes, you call the roll on that motion, please.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes. And now on the ordinance.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes, that ordinance is passed. Ms. Myers, you present item number 2, please.
It is requested an ordinance be passed authorizing and directing the city manager to enter into an annexation agreement in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 709.192 with Huron Township relating to the city's annexation of Erie County, Ohio, permanent parcel numbers 41-00033, 41-0033.001, 41-00038, 41-00078, and 39-00286, and declaring this resolution shall take immediate effect in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Commissioners, having heard this ordinance, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Waddington.
I move for the adoption of this ordinance under suspension of the rules in full accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion. Mr. Orzak, this was a much smaller annexation than our last one, is that not correct? But very similar.
That's correct, and I'd like to thank Mr. Zimmerman and the Huron Township trustees for working with me and our attorneys on this. The parcels are going to extend to the old drive-in theater property that we own, and then there's parcels in Huron Township that Cedar Point owns. So we're annexing the 5 properties, 2 owned by the city and 3 owned by Cedar Fair. We'll complete the annexation process out there. We have made the township whole if there was any development on there for motels or that. Most of the property is, our property's got a land conservation on it, so nothing can go on there. And we also have a lot of the property that Cedar Fair has is unbuildable. So we appreciate the cooperation with Huron Township and look forward to getting this matter taken care of.
Thank you, Mr. Orzak. I noted that our clerk referred to this as a resolution, and it listed in our stuff as an ordinance. Can we clarify that?
Sure.
Perhaps Mr. Hastings is the one to clarify that.
It is an ordinance.
It is an ordinance. Great. Then that, I think that motion was made correctly. Mr. Waddington made an ordinance, made a motion for an ordinance.
He did, it's just a language on
Excellent.
here. That was.
What do we attorneys call that, a scrivener's error? Is that what that's called?
Scribner.
A scrivener's error?
Scribners.
That's as far as I get in law.
Yes, no, if you look at Exhibit 2 on your agenda, it is clearly an ordinance.
Ordinance, yeah.
Great. Right. Additional comments or questions regarding that annexation, that ordinance? Ms. Myers, you call the roll on the motion, please.
Mr. Pachali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes. And now on the ordinance.
Mr. Pachali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington? Mr. Brady?
That ordinance is passed. Ms. Myers, you present item number 3, please.
It is requested an ordinance be passed authorizing and approving the substantial development loan in the amount of $250,000 through the Economic Development Assistance Program to Toft Dairy Incorporated in relation to property located at 3717 Venice Road, and declaring this ordinance shall take immediate effect in accordance with Section 14 of the City Charter.
Commissioners, having heard this ordinance, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Waddington?
I move for the adoption of this ordinance under suspension of the rules in accordance with Section 14 of the
That's the
City
biggest
Charter.
mistake I've ever made.
Wow.
Wow.
Second.
Do you have a second?
Second.
We got a second. Wow. We have a motion and a second. Can we have a discussion? Ms. Gilson, can you share with us what we're doing here with one of our favorite corporate partners?
I'd be happy to. Toft Dairy Inc. is on the precipice of undertaking a $7 million critical expansion at their headquarters on Venice Road. Their current aging freezer, already insufficient in capacity, has experienced a partial collapse, further limiting Toft's ability to efficiently manage its stock. This expanded storage will address the significant seasonal demand fluctuation in the region due to its massive production and population increase during summer months. The new freezer will allow for the storage of excess dairy products during the slower season, enabling its efficient use during the summer peak. This will not only minimize product loss, but will also ensure consistent year-round operations, allowing Toft to maintain its dedicated workforce and continue supporting the surrounding farming community. The owners have secured credit facilities from Key Bank and have a commitment of a $2.5 million loan from Jobs Ohio and are providing 10% equity investment in the project. They have requested a $250,000 substantial development, economic development assistance program loan at 0% interest payable at the end of 5 years, which is presented for you today. This recommendation was reviewed and approved by the Economic Development Incentive Committee on March 11th. This recommendation is more than the stated cap in our guidelines. In the case of catalytic projects, however, the guidelines do provide exemption from stated cap. In discussion with City Manager, there was concurrence to consider a loan beyond those limits. The city investment would represent a 3.5% of the total project cost. The loan will be secured via subordinate mortgage on the property at 3717 Venice Road. If the owner achieves job requirement of the hire of 7 full-time employees at the end of the term, they may request forgiveness of the loan.
Thank you, Ms. Gilson. Comments or questions, Commissioners?
It's exciting to see.
Grable.
Very exciting to see.
And I think that it certainly, your comment about the 3.5% certainly is makes it easier on this commission to approve something like that. They're making a $7 million investment, and we're in this with them for $250,000. That's, for myself anyway, that's very easy to find favor with. It is a really small investment to assist what has been really an iconic corporation within the city of Sandusky. Mr. Waddington.
I like it. I think this is great, but I have a problem going by there without stopping, getting the double scoop black walnut ice cream.
You're going to help.
It's like calls my name out when I drive by there.
That's not a reason. That's not a reason to be conflicted.
No.
No.
Additional comments or questions, Commissioners? Ms. Myers, will you call the roll on that motion, please?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes. Now on the ordinance.
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Crable? Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington? Mr. Brady?
Yes. That ordinance is passed. Ms. Myers, you present item number 4, please.
It is requested an ordinance be passed authorizing and directing the city manager to enter into an exclusive right-to-sell agreement with Russell Real Estate Services of Sandusky, Ohio, for the marketing and sale of 2 vacant parcels located at the southeast corner of East Market Street and Franklin Street, and declaring this ordinance shall take immediate effect in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Commissioners, having heard this ordinance, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to adopt this ordinance in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion. This is gives us a very high probability of 2 more homes being built literally in the heart of downtown. Long time coming. I recall years ago passing legislation to attempt to buy this property, and we accomplished it here in the last few months, and this is kind of the culmination. The culmination will really be when we sell it and someone puts a foundation in the ground, which I think will happen very quickly. Thank you, Ms. Gilson, for your and your staff's hard work on this. Ms. Myers, you call a roll on the motion, please.
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Waddington? Mr. Brady?
Yes, and now on the ordinance.
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington? Mr. Brady?
Yes, that ordinance is passed. Ms. Myers, you present item number 5, please.
It is requested an ordinance be passed authorizing and directing the city manager to enter into a contract with Precision Paving Incorporated of Milan, Ohio for the West Monroe Street Resurfacing Project, and declaring that this ordinance shall take immediate effect in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Commissioners, having heard this ordinance, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Waddington.
I move for the adoption of this ordinance under suspension of rules in full accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Waddington.
it seems like the last several years, we've been on Monroe Street, it's either on the east end, the west end, or patching, and I just wish we could finalize this someday. It's nonstop.
It's a long street.
I know it's a long street. Wow.
Mr. Klein, what say you?
I say our staff meetings get really confusing with the Perkins and the Monroe Street projects we've been doing, and I would ask for a little leeway in that we're doing another Monroe Street project next year from Camp to Decatur, so that should finalize everything at that point, though.
Great. I did notice, and I think it is worth mentioning to the public that the small percentage of city funds that are going into $1 million project. My compliments to engineering for having figured out how to get $1 million worth of paving for a fraction of that amount out of our pocket.
Yes, this is just under 7%, right around $70,000 of over $1 million is coming from the city's budget. And I will say that we got called by GSP, Department of Development, and Department of Transportation, who were working with us to try to get this project funded to accommodate an expansion that Okamoto is looking at doing. So it was really 5 partners working together to do this. This is the grant that we got last year that Department of Development actually came back after awarding us a certain amount of money and said, oh, here's an additional 150 or 175,000. So our percentage went down even more at that point. So it's really exciting when we apply for a lot of different grants, and it's really exciting when somebody comes to us and asks us to take a grant. So this is a lot easier for us to do that. And these funds are much easier to track and distribute, and the applications and those types of things. It's been a great partnership to move forward with this one.
Excellent, good work. Additional comments or questions, Commissioners? Ms. Myers, you call the roll on that motion, please.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington? Mr. Brady?
Yes, and now on the ordinance.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes, that ordinance is passed. Ms. Myers, you present item number 6, please.
It is requested an ordinance be passed authorizing and directing the city manager to purchase a SCAG Storm Sprayer with accessories from Baker Vehicle Systems of Macedonia, Ohio for the Grounds Maintenance Division, and declaring this ordinance shall take immediate effect in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Commissioners, having heard this ordinance, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to adopt this ordinance in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion.
Mr. Chairman, I just wondered if somebody could define what a
Yes.
SCAG Storm Sprayer is, or what it does.
SCAG.
I have no idea.
Spraying storms now.
Mr. Whirling.
Probably not exciting as a UTV that's on the agenda as well, but SCAG Storm Sprayer is one of the stand-up sprayers that you see going through the parks, where it's got a bar on the front where it'll spray and also can spread fertilizer, has a spreader on it as well.
So it would be like for weed killer, for fertilizer, stuff like that?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Used
So
our grounds
expensive.
and greenhouse.
SCAG must be the person that made it and not what we're spraying.
Correct.
Got it.
Good
Thanks.
call.
Excellent, thanks, Mr. Whirling. Additional comments or questions?
Nothing's cheap anymore, right?
Ms. Myers, you call the roll on the motion, please.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes. And now on the ordinance.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes, that ordinance is passed. Ms. Myers, you present item number 7, please.
It is requested an ordinance be passed authorizing and directing the city manager to expend funds for the purchase and installation of replacement docks at the Shelby Street Boat Launch Wrap facility from Diamond Waterfronts at Rootstown, Ohio, and declaring this ordinance shall take immediate effect in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Commissioners, having heard this ordinance, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Chair, I move for the adoption of this ordinance under suspension of the rules in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion.
Mr. Chairman,
Jolly.
I just had a question on how old were the existing docks, and what is the life expectancy of these docks?
Mr.
Should've
Whirling, you
left
made the
Mr.
mistake of
Worley up
sitting
there.
down.
Yeah.
I believe these docks have been there probably since '86 is kind of where we had some improvements there. These are consistent with the docks that we have over at the Pipe Creek launch, currently the Easy Dock system. So I'm hoping to get the same life out of, or we're hoping to get the same life out of them that we had for these past docks. But the ones that are currently there are kind of well past trying to fix anymore, and it's been a long time coming.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Jolly.
What do we do with those docks? Is there any salvage, or do we just,
We're going to look
the
at,
ones that we,
yeah, the ones we're pulling, we're going to look to see what we can get for the scrap
okay.
on them.
Mr. Whirling, do I understand that we're about that we're halfway there? There's that much yet to go? That many more docks yet to go?
This is more than half. So this is the first 5 docks. If you go from west to east, it's the 2 launch docks, the fire and ODNR dock, and then the 2 courtesy docks that we have. What we'll have left is the one that's furthest to the east, which would be the one dock that has 4 fingers, 5 fingers, that you'll see a lot of people that'll fish off of those. That'll be for next year.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Waddington.
I'm going to take you a different direction. I think I called you maybe a month or so ago about the River Raft canoe docks down there, and then, are we gonna be made whole on them since they didn't get them out?
Yes, they were making repairs to those as part of, when we put our docks in this spring, yes.
Do you know, Mr. Chairman? Jason, when will we expect those new docks to be put in? I mean, is it this season, hopefully?
This is the time of year we usually have the docks going in by the mid-April is by our first fishing tournament. So we're scheduling that. We'll see once we make this purchase of what the timeline is to get the new docks and kind of see if we can get the old docks in if we need to, but if we can just get those new docks put in, then we'll do that. Or we'll have a combination of both.
That's what I was just thinking about, event coming up, an early spring event.
We won't be without docks, so we'll either have the old docks or we'll have the new docks.
Correct. We will have either, and then to go with that, we were putting in a more robust dock for launching, so having the possibility of leaving that dock in during the off-season. So when we have these late fishing tournaments or even, a season where it lasts longer into the season, we can keep that one dock in. And the water's real low right now, so that affects
Very low. Got it.
being able to install.
Yep. Thank you. Additional comments or questions, Commissioners? Ms. Myers, you call the roll on that motion, please.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes, and now in the ordinance.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington? Mr. Brady?
Yes, that ordinance is passed. Ms. Myers, you present item number 8, please.
It is requested an ordinance be passed authorizing and directing the city manager to purchase a 2025 Polaris Ranger Crew utility terrain vehicle with accessories and trailer from American Powersport LLC of Sandusky, Ohio, through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program, as authorized by ORC Section 125.04 for the Police Department, and declaring this ordinance shall take immediate effect in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Commissioners, having heard this ordinance, what is your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Vargo.
I move for the adoption of this ordinance under suspension of the rules in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion.
Mr. Chairman,
That's exciting.
Commissioner Jones.
just a quick question for the chief. How fast is this vehicle? I looked over all that literature and the picture, and it looks like a neat.
We're not going to go faster than the speed limit, which is 35 miles an hour. It's got capability, but this is more for special events, patrolling those areas, and also the new terrain we'll probably have with the landing project and around Sports Force fields that we never had access to before. So that's what its main purpose is going to be.
Okay.
I think it's worth mentioning, a little unusual, at least unusual since I've been here, that we're buying this from a local provider and not through a state bonded group, and we have guaranteed that we're getting a better price than we would have gotten through the state program.
We've been pretty lucky with some of our recent purchases going local. They've been actually beating the contract price, and he meant the contract price. I think he was less than $6,000, so we're actually saving with going local.
Yep.
So
Good move. And it's nice to support local,
It is.
certainly. Additional comments or questions? Commissioner Grable.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting for the public that no public funds are being expended on this, that these are federal forfeiture funds that are being used to purchase this.
Yes, sir, Commissioner. With our relationships with the federal authorities, we're able to use forfeiture funds that have been obtained through other investigative purposes, so there's no impact to the general fund with this purchase.
Excellent. Ms. Myers, you call the roll on that motion, please.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Waddington? Mr. Brady?
Yes. And now on the ordinance.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Waddington? Mr. Brady?
Yes, that ordinance is passed. Ms. Myers, you present our last item, item number 9.
It is requested an ordinance be passed authorizing the city's participation in the state of Michigan's procurement program through their extended purchasing program, authorizing and directing the city manager to purchase one medium-class Ford F-550 series bus from TESCO Transportation Equipment Sales Corporation of Oregon, Ohio, through the extended purchasing program for the city transit system, and declaring this ordinance shall take immediate effect in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Commissioners, having heard this ordinance, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to adopt this ordinance in accordance with Section 14 of the city charter.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion.
Mr. Chair, I just had one question, Mr. Stacy. Are we phasing out any vehicles, or is this an addition?
Thank you, Commissioner Vargo, for the question. It is designed for replacement vehicles. This is, I'm very happy to report, our fourth Ford F-550, the largest vehicles we purchased in the fleet. It is designed to replace two, so I've applied for 6 large vehicles. We're replacing 2 2010s and 4 2015s with those 6 replacement vehicles. I am happy to report off pre-award authority on the next federal fiscal cycle. You will see 2 more 35-foot medium-duty size vehicles as those part of those 6 to be introduced.
Awesome.
So 4 to be introduced this calendar year, 2 more to be introduced possibly in the next calendar year.
Great.
Mr. Stacy, did I read correctly that this particular bus will handle up to 26 wheelchair?
The floor plan is for 32 passengers. There are 2 wheelchair securements. That takes away 4 seats. So the floor plan will be designed for 28 able-bodied passengers and 2 wheelchair securements.
Okay.
Very happy to report, negative feedback received by the public is we need more seats. With the addition of these buses, the calculations with them operating 16 hours a day at our largest, our most ridership on the fixed route lines, we are going to introduce about 17,280 rides to people where they're trying to go safely and on time to address and combat that negative feedback.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Stacy. We very well used program, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But you need more seats and we need more money.
Yes.
80% federally funded,
Yeah, exactly.
each bus.
Thank you, doing
That
a
was
good
great.
job.
Very good.
Additional comments or questions, Commissioners? Ms. Myers, you call on that motion, please.
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Wantington? Mr. Brady?
Yes. And now on the ordinance.
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Wantington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes, that ordinance is passed. That concludes our regular agenda. We'll turn to our city manager for his report.
Good evening, Commissioners, audience, and staff. I have a donation from Commission President Brady. He donated a city seal to the Mylander Plaza. If I can get a motion, it's $870.01.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second discussion. Ms. Myers, will you call the roll on that motion, please?
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Crable?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Wantington?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Abstain. That motion is passed.
I have a $100 donation to the police department that was received from the Hank Soloway family in honor and memory of Andrew Dunn. His anniversary of his death was last week, 14 years, and Mr. Soloway and his family donate every year, so thanks to him. If I can get a motion to accept that donation.
So moved. Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion. Without objection, that motion will be approved. And hearing no objection, that motion is approved with our thanks to Mr. Soloway.
We received notification from an estate that they're donating $10,000 for the greenhouse. It was received from the Robert Engelhorn estate. If I can get a motion to accept that donation for the greenhouse.
So moved.
Been a motion and a second discussion. Without objection, that motion will be approved. Hearing no objection, that motion is approved for our thanks.
Park and Recs thanks the House of Donuts for donating 3 dozen donuts, and Erie County Family and Children First for providing art supplies, snacks, and an instructor for Youth Art Month at Mills. I'm going to motion to accept that donation.
So moved.
Second.
Been a motion and a second discussion. Without objection, that motion will be approved. And hearing no objection, that motion is approved with our thanks.
Mrs. Reeder says the deadline to file your 2024 municipal income tax returns is April 15, 2025. All individuals and businesses can utilize the Regional Income Tax Agency's website at www.ritaohio.com to file their taxes. Public Works, the 3 ongoing construction projects in the MacArthur Park neighborhood are proceeding quickly. The playground is being installed. Great Lakes Demolition is coordinating schedules with subcontractors for lighting, the pathway, the splash pad, and other remaining amenities. Utilities are complete and concrete road repairs have begun on Camp Street in preparation of upcoming paving. The water and sewer mains are progressing along West Forest with completion estimated at the end of April. Phase 2 of the infrastructure portion will be released later this year. Mr. Crable said it looks like something hit it over there, but they're doing good work and looking forward to that project.
Amazing.
Based on the lack of bidding interest for the initial bid for the landing project, staff is planning to release the project through a design-build approach rather than the traditional design-bid-build approach. The design-build team will be responsible for revising engineered drawings that are already designed to 100%. Staff feels this approach will allow the city to maximize the amenities envisioned for the character of an interactive waterfront park while meeting the budget of available funds. The East Perkins Waterline project is scheduled for completion in the next 2 weeks. Bids for resurfacing the section will be received in April. A reminder that annual spring cleanup of Oakland Cemetery and Memorial Park starts on April 14th. Residents and patrons are asked to remove anything they wish to keep prior to this date. To allow sufficient time for cleanup, new cemetery decorations can be placed starting April 19th. And the spring yard waste drop-off day has been scheduled for Saturday, April 26th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Barnes Composting, 1630 Camp Road, Huron, Ohio. This is free to city residents for residential yard waste only. Proof of residency, a driver's license must be presented upon drop-off. That'll conclude my report. I'll take any questions that the commission has.
Questions or comments for the city manager? If not, we will move to items of old business. Any items of old business, commissioners? Any items of new business? Any items of new business, commissioners? Wow. I suppose you're going to make me entertain public comment at this meeting. That's the next item on our agenda. Any folks that from the public would like to comment on any item regarding city business? Please step to the podium and identify yourself and share with us your comments, and I'd ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes. 5 minutes. Just got an extra 2 minutes.
Joe Hunter. I just want to ask you about the lots that you got. I moved here 5 years ago, and it's great. I bought a bunch of properties. You guys are wonderful. I got company up by the team up north, try to do business there, but it's a lot of regulation. But, you know, I saw these come up, and we've been trying to buy something to build a house, and all of a sudden I told my wife, I said, look at this, and then they were gone. So I want to know, how much did we pay for the lots? I know they're going to go up for sale. Can you tell me that?
Yes, sir. What this part of the meeting is about is you, as public, you can make a comment regarding city business, but it's not designed to be a question and answer session. It sounds like your comments are revolving around the properties that the city has for sale, and we can certainly hear your comments about that and your questions, and then I would direct you to Ms. Gilson. That's her department.
Because I just
she
thought I'm
she'll
competing, you know what I mean, for them. I didn't know why.
Yeah.
So, okay. The city normally buys lots from a private person and then resells them for profit. That's normal.
That's what we've successfully done here in the last couple of years.
Okay, I'll find out.
Okay, Ms. Gilson, we'll get you, if you'll share with her your name and address.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional comments from the public on any item regarding city business?
Brian McCormick, 3009 West Monroe Street. Ladies and gentlemen of the commission, first I would like to thank you all, as well as Mr. Stacy, for your recent efforts in acquiring 4 replacement CDL class vehicles for the transit system. These new units will be a welcome sight as they replace, as he said, 2 diesel-powered buses from 2010, another gasoline-powered vehicle from 2014, and 1 gasoline-powered vehicle from 2017. However, this is only the tip of the iceberg that's currently dead ahead of the transit system. Most of the transit system fleet vehicles are well beyond their end of useful life, including one CDL bus from 2017, 2 CDL buses from 2019, 10 12-passenger buses, which are also known as cutaways, from 2017, and 8 7-passenger transit vans from 2017. These vehicles are becoming increasingly prone to mechanical breakdown, and replacement parts are getting more and more difficult to find. Additionally, on February 26th of this year, the Ohio House unanimously passed House Bill 54, which is the biennial budget for the state. Contained in it are provisions appropriating $100 million, both this fiscal year and next fiscal year, for public transit. I've reached out to Senator Gavarone for information as to when the state Senate is going to put this bill up for a vote. Lastly, according to an article in the Sandusky Register from January 30th, this commission authorized a general fund budget for the city of $32 million, the highest amount in the history of Sandusky. The city also started 2025 with a $6,600,000 cash balance. So the time is upon you all to step up to the plate and knock one out of the park for the citizens of this city. By dipping a cup into that $32 million bucket and reserving 2% of it for the Sandusky transit system so that vehicle replacement program can be accelerated. This reserve will enable Mr. Stacy to apply for both federal and state grants containing a provision requiring matching local funds. The city needs to get its collective hands on a slice of that state funding. Even if only 1% of those $100 million 2-year state funds comes to Sandusky, with a $1,600,000 match by the city in 2025 and 2026, almost all of the end-of-life fleet can be replaced in those 2 years. So I call upon you to do what is right and increase the urgency and importance of your obligations to public transportation. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick, for your suggestion. Additional comments from the public on any item pertaining to city business?
Nancy Birch, 105 West Water Street. I don't really know. Does the city own the Beckling building and the docks? Has Cedar Point turned that over to the city?
We do not.
No, it still belongs to Cedar Fair.
That's correct.
Okay. I just have wondered about that for a long time, and I didn't see any movement on that. And then the State Theater, is there movement on the State Theater? Does anybody know?
We only know what we read in the newspaper.
We're all blind.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Greetings all, Tom Lamarca, 206 48th Street. I know you've missed me up here.
We have.
I just want to thank Colleen Gilson for working so hard on the Toft project. It's time that we spend some money on the West End businesses, and I appreciate your efforts as well in approving that matter. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lamarca. And good to see you back at that podium. Additional comments from the public? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.